Here we go and welcome to the Idea of Technology. My name is Michael and today it's all about my favorite light, and it's already just sitting here on my camera. It's the Aputure Amaran F7, and I just want to show you the light and tell you everything about it and just tell you really why I love this light and why I just always carry it with me everywhere I go with my camera. So first I need to okay. So now we are here sitting in absolutely dark, not as close, so I got some lighting here from the side, so that should be enough. I can better, so at least you get this one side. Now it's too bright. Better. Okay, so we just try to keep this with this one side, so I'm looking like Two-Face, but I just want to tell you everything about this little awesome guy here because I just fell in love with this little light and just want to tell you everything about it and why it's so cool, so important and extremely affordable. And before you buy something else, just think about this one here. So just like you, I just started with YouTube and I just wanted to buy all the equipment I need with, as I said, camera, microphone, etc. But the most critical thing for me was a long time to get enough light on me, just to, as you can see, to make some good lighting and or do some sort of effects. And I was looking like a lot around on Newer or just some other budget on-camera lights, maybe just to have some sort of run and gun style and just can throw it on my setup and that's it. But I wasn't satisfied the whole time because you will need a few crucial things when it comes to lighting that I learned just after a few months or so, or maybe just a year later, and this was the point I just came to the Aputure Amaran F7. So this is just the normal setup I'm using it, so I got the diffuser on here and also a little NPF, Sony NPF battery mounted on the back, but you can just pop this out. At the end, it's just weighing a few 100 grams, which is just pretty amazing. I can also just pop out the diffuser, we can just look at it later. And on the other side, this is just how the light will look like. What you also get is, and this is pretty important, two things when it comes to light. The first thing, the power and where it comes from. So you will just always keep in mind how you power your light. And the cool thing about the Amaran F7, and I just call it F7, it's just easier. The cool thing about the F7 is that you have three possibilities to just run this little baby here. You have the first thing, as I use it with the Sony NPF batteries, you can just have these tiny ones or just go for the beefier and bigger ones and have hours of runtime. With this little guy I can just run roundabout or 40 to 50 minutes depending on the light and on the intensity. This is number one. Number two, if you have a D-tap, you can just use the D-tap connector here, this one, and you can also the chance here on the top just to go for USB Type-C, yeah, because as a light in 2019, it was launched 2018, but you can just run this with a decent battery. So if you have some sort of power bank lying around, like I have here, so I can just run this this light with this power bank here for hours or nearly half a day and have no problem at all. So it's just pretty cool. USB Type-C, D-Tap, or just a Sony NP-F batteries. So this was just the number one, but what is number two when it comes to lighting? The second thing is that you will probably need bicolor lighting, so you can adjust the temperature of your light. And this is just made pretty cool on this little light here. Aputure is one of the main brands when it comes to lighting, and this is their second smallest light. There's also a smaller one. I just will also put the link down in the video description, but this has only an integrated battery, which was not the purpose for me. But if you just want to have it even smaller, just go for this one. And there are also just bigger ones as the F7. If you just want to have more juice and more light, you can just crank this up pretty much. It's just insane how good these lights are. But the second part is it's a bicolor, so you have more white and more yellowish LEDs in here, and just can adjust them the way you want and just adjust the CT and the color temperature like you want it or like you need it. So I can show you now. I will just activate it again and put this open here like this. So this would be just pretty bright at the moment. You probably don't see this very well, but we now have just the like this white and blue LEDs out there. And the cool thing is you can just crank this up from 1% to 100% extreme precisely with this little knob here on the side. And as you can see, it gets just ridiculous bright. So this is just 100%. Now we are at 50, and this is just 25 or just 1%, and you probably don't see it anymore this much, but it's pretty cool. So you have just a huge amount of light if you want it. So I can just crank this up and getting completely blinded like this. So 100%, and just put this a little bit down like this, and so I can light the other side of my face a little bit better. We now have here the temperature and just the brightness setting 50%, and the standard for me is just 5600 in color temperature CT, so just the base standard, as you can say. And if you go for 5600, you have this just the perfect mix between blue and yellow LEDs, so you have the maximum brightness you can get. If you just go down with pushing this and go up to 3200, this is just pretty yellow here, so this is just 3200 Kelvin, and as you can see, just the half of the LEDs are just being used. And so now I just can crank this up to, just show you here, getting more bluish, up to 9500. So this is 9500, sorry. So extremely blue light coming from this side now, like here. And this is also pretty cool. So only the blue LEDs are being used. You have the complete possibility to go extremely low with your temps, or just extremely high, and also adjust the brightness exactly like you want it. And this is the second part, focusing on a pretty decent and good light. And at the end, I must be honest, how small this is, like you have this 1/4 screw on each side of this little device. Not on the side where the power button is, but you just can get it, you can mount it as you want. You can buy several one of these and can make your complete rig and your complete setup, which is just pretty insane. Run it with every power source you just have lying around. You can also use, this is one of the coolest parts I haven't told you yet. You get this pretty handy dandy bag over here, so you can just put it always in your bag, and in here you will have another transparent diffuser, and this is just the more Milky Way, I would say. So you can choose the diffuser you want, some paperwork, and in here you just get some sort of caution and also charging cable, USB Type A to USB Type C, and also, which is just pretty cool, a little ball head. And this is just one of the most premium ball heads I ever had. So if you're looking for one, just go for this Aputure one. This is just pretty good. That's the whole package, but overall for nearly over $100, and I just put you also the link down in the video description, for nearly over $100 you just barely get a better light for your money. So just when you think about buying a new light for your rig and just doing it for YouTube or something else, I'm just trying to look for the Aputure Amaran F7. It's just really my favorite light. So if you dislike this video, you know what to do, but if you liked it, hit like down there, get subscribed and enable the notifications with the bell icon so you won't miss any future video of the idea of technology. And I just want to say thank you very much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.